In 2020, I lost 30 pounds of body fat. But let me tell you, my sugar cravings were out to get me. And it definitely did not help that Crumble and this little ice cream shop were across the street from me, literally less than a 2-minute walk. That did not help matters. If you are currently on your own weight loss journey and you are really struggling with intense sugar cravings, then this video is definitely for you. Now, if you are new to this channel, hello and welcome. My name is Vivian, but you can call me Viv. And in today's video, I'm gonna go over the 7 tips that I personally use on my own fat loss journey that really helped me overcome those intense sugar cravings. Now, what you need to know is that in the beginning, I craved sugar constantly. I could have had a bowl of ice cream with cookies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner easily. So tip number 1 is that I replaced that sugar with a protein fruit smoothie. So I would do a scoop of protein powder, 2 cups of frozen strawberries. I would sometimes add in a cup of frozen banana if I really wanted something sweet. I would add a packet or 2 of stevia, again, especially in the beginning because I just was really craving that sweet taste. And then I would do a cup of unsweetened almond milk, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then a tablespoon of chia seeds for a little bit of healthy fat and fiber. So adding that in to every one of my meals, or just making that my meal, depending on how big I made the protein smoothie, again, that really helped me not just fill up with the liquid and the fiber and the protein, but then with the stevia and then the frozen fruit. And then if I really wanted it sweet, adding in the frozen banana, that really helped satisfy the sweet tooth. And then as I went on, I would lessen the amount of fruit that I would use, and I would lessen the amount of stevia or take it out altogether if I felt like I didn't need it. But I definitely noticed that my taste buds adjusted, so I could decrease the amount of sweetness as I went on, which was very, very helpful, so that I got used to not having quite as much sugar. Tip number 2 is that if I wanted to eat something rather than drink something, because the act of eating and chewing, it is very pleasurable. If I was wanting to chew something, I would have a bowl of fruit. So I usually gravitated towards strawberries, apples, or cuties, just because that's what I liked. With strawberries, if I found that it wasn't sweet enough, I would actually top a packet of stevia on top of it to add additional sweetness. The more stevia that you have, it is a lot sweeter than sugar itself, so having stevia can actually make you crave more sugar. But for me, I really found that in the beginning, adding that in was just so helpful in substitution of the other things that I was craving, again, like ice cream and cookies. Tip number 3 is determining if your craving is an emotional craving. I use sugar as a way to help cope with how I was feeling, like stress, anxiety, boredom, and sadness. And so sometimes when we are in that low emotional state, we want that dopamine hit to help boost our mood that we get from sugar. However, it's such a temporary solution. And so what helped was taking a step back and determining, okay, am I actually wanting to physically eat something right now? Am I physically hungry? Or is this an emotional need? Like, am I sad? Am I lonely? Am I anxious? That actually has another solution that I can use, like relaxation techniques, or calling a friend, or getting a massage, or stretching, that I can actually use to address the emotional need itself. Or maybe, if I'm working really hard and I just am stressing myself out, maybe I just need to take a break from work and just allow myself to go on a walk outside rather than try to get that instant dopamine hit from sugar. So determining if it is an emotional need that I'm trying to solve, or is it truly physical hunger. Tip number 4 is staying hydrated. So I personally really struggle to drink water because I just don't like water. So I have to consciously remind myself to drink water throughout the day. And something that actually helps me is setting timers every couple of hours to remind myself to drink water. But I noticed that on the days where I didn't prioritize drinking water, which was all the time in the beginning, my sugar cravings were so much more intense. But when I actually started to prioritize my hydration, it was insane. It was like my sugar cravings went from level 100 to level 10. So it was so much more manageable. I also noticed that when I start craving sugar, if I just have a bottle of water or a glass of water and then I wait 5 minutes, the sugar craving is gone. So a lot of my sugar cravings I noticed were in connection with my dehydration. So when I just go to water immediately, instead of just grabbing the snack or whatever I'm craving, a lot of times the sugar craving goes away if I just drink that water and then I wait a few minutes. Tip number 5 is to actually allow myself to have what it is that I'm craving if I notice that that craving is coming from a restriction mindset. So to give you an example, if I'm at a dinner party and they're serving cupcakes and I'm gonna be at the dinner party for 3 hours and I'm telling myself I can't have that, and then telling myself I can't have that just makes me want to have it more, I have noticed that what really helps in those instances where it is right in front of me and I'm just looking at it and thinking about it and I'm going to be there for a while, allowing myself to just have what it is that I'm craving. But the key is that I take very small bites, like very small bites. I chew it slowly. I'm really present when I'm eating, and when I am eating it, I am enjoying and savoring every bite. I'm not guilting myself for having it. When I do that, not only does it make the dessert last longer, and so I'm able to enjoy the experience so much longer, but being present and being mindful during the experience helps me feel so satisfied that a lot of the times I'm not even able to finish the dessert. I don't even have the entire thing because I'm so satisfied. Whereas before, I noticed that when I would just restrict and then it got to the point where I was like, screw it, I'm gonna have it, I would eat it so quickly and the experience lasted like 20 seconds. And because I don't feel like I got to fully enjoy it, I just want more. So instead of having half a cupcake that I could enjoy slowly and take small bites from, I'd have 5 easily because I would just shovel, like I would literally just shovel the whole thing in my mouth. So what I've noticed is that if I'm going to allow myself to indulge in the craving, taking those small bites, really savoring every bite, being so present and enjoying it and not guilting myself for it, that has completely changed my experience and has really helped me master portion control while also feeling satisfied, which is a magical experience. Tip number 6 is prioritizing your sleep. Whenever I have crappy sleep or I go to bed late or I just wake up a lot throughout the night for whatever reason, like maybe my dogs are howling throughout the night, which happens a lot because I have 4 of them. I do notice that my sugar cravings the next day, they are off the freaking chain and they're so difficult to manage even with all these other tips that I talked about. So honestly, doing my best to prioritize sleep, to go to bed early, that has been a game changer. And you know, if you have a newborn or a puppy or for whatever reason, like you just can't prioritize your sleep right now, just do the best you can and be kind to yourself because it is very hard when you are lacking sleep. Because those sugar cravings, I'm telling you, they are just so strong. It's insane. Tip number 7 is to make sure that at every meal, you are getting in a source of fiber and protein. That combination, it is magical. It is magical. Fiber and protein, not only does it help stabilize your blood sugar levels, which prevents that spike and drop, which contributes to really intense sugar cravings, but it really helps you stay satiated and fuller for longer. I've noticed that when I don't prioritize fiber and protein at every meal, all I want is sugar. It's insane. But when I actually prioritize fiber and protein, and for me, I aim for at a minimum 5 to 7 grams of fiber per meal and a minimum of 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. And doing that combination at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's magical. The sugar cravings, gone. Well, almost gone. They may be a little bit there, but again, so much more manageable to handle. So I hope that you found these tips helpful. If you want to work with me one-on-one to overcome yo-yo dieting and to master your fat loss, then please go to my website, www.teamevolve.co, and submit an application form to work with me. You can also follow me on Instagram at Vivian No, and on TikTok at Vivian No with an underscore at the end. If you want to see more fat loss tips from me, then go ahead and click this video right here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more from me. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.